Bleh. Does Scream live on without Neve Campbell? Has it successfully transcended? Did this feel like a Scream movie without Neve Campbell in it? By the way, one thing we did not talk about at all is, I see a lot of people like goofing about like, oh, it's like Scooby-Doo, which is everybody's complaint about Scream 3. Like, yes, this felt like Scooby-Doo, but all of them feel like Scooby-Doo. That's part of what makes it so much fun. That's the fun aspect of it. That's part of the whodunit.
It's like who's going to be behind the mask?
Who's going to be behind the mask? And like, so the Scooby-Doo-ness of like setting a trap for the killer and we're going to lure ourselves as bait. Like that's all friggin' valid and it's all fine. It's like, it totally works. And all of you can just shut your traps on it because it's great. Like, just leave it alone. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
So does Scream live on without Sidney?
Oh, man. I mean, I purposely, as I told you, Jeff, I purposely didn't go opening weekend because I just felt I was very excited for this movie no matter what. But I was like, I don't really want to support an opening weekend for a company that has boatloads of cash and just can't pay this longtime star.
And they didn't even use that budget to go to New York City. That's the troubling
And
part.
also, guys, I can't imagine Neve's asking like for $10 million. I feel like she knows, especially for a smaller screen time, it was probably a few $1 million. Like, you know what I mean? So, sadly, the movie, I mean, it's great. The movie made a lot of money, but it's sad for Neve because I think Paramount's like, hey, you didn't want to do it. And it was super successful. It's the biggest opening without you. So that's a bummer. I still hope she will come back if it makes sense. Because luckily, and I say this respectfully, I actually didn't miss her, maybe because we had Gale, Kirby, and there's a lot going on. But
I didn't miss her.
After 5,
I didn't miss her.
Does it live on without her? I guess it can. Should it live on without her? I guess it can. As long as things make sense. Like, again, I think Sam and Tara should go head to head in the next one. And who has gone head to head with her sibling, Sidney? So that could be a cool way to bring her back and tell Tara, hey, I had to kill my brother. I can help you kill your sister if you want me. So I think that could work. That's what I'll say.
Kevin?
I think, like I said before, it's fine to leave her out of the rest of this trilogy. But after this is wrapped up, then for the next phase of Scream, you're going to have to bring her back in some way. I didn't miss her necessarily. I think absence makes the heart grow fonder. And if you're following the Stab movies, she's only in the first 3. So they had 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 without her in the Stab franchise. So if you're going to mirror that, it actually makes sense.
Yeah, that's true.
I think Scream can live without Sidney. I've literally beaten this to death in the sense that I talked about, Sidney, Final Girl trilogy, 1, 2, 3, everything after that is whatever. It doesn't matter ultimately. I love that idea of it's almost like leave her out of this because we can come back, we can drop in on her. I think I saw Keith in the comments. It was somebody who mentioned, you could wait another 10, 15 years and then have someone is preying on Sidney's kids who are now teenagers, and Sidney
I like that.
Is sort of like in this elder mother sort of role, maybe like an older sort of Ripley sort of situation where she has to, whatever. And enough time might pass where it really feels like super valid to sort of dust her off and bring her out if you're going that route. Ultimately, I think the core of Sam and Tara is going to work or continue to work the way that it has been.
It's fine as long as they make it work.
Right. I mean, they as long as you follow that thread, which it's like they tread water on these two movies. Like, God, she just had this arc in the previous movie. We didn't even talk about, like, I mean, we talked a little bit about Billy coming back. It's like, again, that was also so misunderused. It's like, dude, like in part 5, you had like it was sort of like a reoccurring thing. And it's like, oh yeah, I forgot. We could just use Billy's ghost, whatever we want. Here he is at the very end for 2
I gotta say,
short
he
things.
had the best line in the whole movie, and I don't know if it was meant to be, and I don't know if this was supposed to be funny, but I was laughing out loud in the theater, and I was the only one when she was looking into his glass case with his mask and his knife and everything, and he's talking to her, and he's like, said something about like, okay, now let's go stab some motherfuckers. I just started laughing out loud. I thought
they
it
are
was
just
the funniest
glorifying.
thing.
They are glorifying a RIPIST and
awesome.
serial murdering, like psychopathic.
I couldn't stop laughing.
He's like, they're like, they've turned him into like, they're like turning him into this like wizard, like after ghost, like anti-hero. Like, what the hell, dude? Like, honestly, what the hell? And obviously that could teeter. It could turn, it could teeter. We'll see. We'll see. I honestly, I think it's going to be back in a year. Again, 44 million opening weekend. It really has shown that it has staying power. You kept your core 4 alive. Well, they're obviously, they know that they're going to be able to carry it on, and they're thinking, oh, well, you know, we could have Gale back, or maybe we won't. Maybe we'll just have Gale out of the picture too now, and we can spend even less on this one with an even bigger return, because that's how they think.